um, to the Homewood Hotel in Homewood, Illinois, where Imam Deputy Muhammad will bring to you a major and historic message, as always. And we'd like to start our program, and we'd like to start our program acknowledging those stations, those radio stations, that's been diligent and strong in the pursuit of delivering the Imam's message. And we'll start with the Hamilton, Bermuda people. The station is 1340 Bermuda Radio, sponsored by the believers of Masjid Bermuda. All right, God. Then there's KRJO 1680, Monroe, Louisiana. And we'd like to thank some key people there. Art Edwards, which is a personality at the station that we were introduced to by Mrs. Esther Gallows, which is president of the Booker T. Outreach Center, which is a primary care for the elderly. She lived in Los Angeles for about 25 years. She has made a change. And we also like to thank another key factor in the broadcast in Monroe, Louisiana, Striving Poor Enterprises. And the Striving Poor Enterprises is a derivative of, or in memory of, the Hills Brothers Barbecue from 1935 to 1996. And we like to thank these folks because they shared the vision early and just picked it up and never stopped running. And the Houston Masjid, this is from Imam Eugene W. Farouk. He says, the national radio broadcast and the first Sunday public address of Imam Muhammad is aired on radio station KCOH, 1430 AM on the radio dial on Sundays at 3 p.m. The broadcast can also be downloaded on the worldwide internet. The broadcast is sponsored by the Houston Masjid of Al-Islam, Masjid Al-Quran, and Masjid Ta'aleem Muhammad, located in Houston, Texas. This noble effort is coordinated by Brother Dad Muhammad of the Houston Masjid and KCOH radio station manager Mike Pirizzo. Thank you for all the support that you give our leader, Imam W. Muhammad, in keeping his clear voice on the air. Sincerely, Imam Farouk W. Imam Eugene W. Farouk. Now, in our acknowledgement of the Atlanta radio station last week, we didn't have then, but we do now, one of our major sponsors there, and that is the Supreme Fish Delight, Brother Lawrence Shapsdeen. And he has a chain of 20 or more stores in the Atlanta area, coupled with the fact that he's opening up for national franchising. So if any of you want to or have an urge to go into business with leadership, pre-proven, just follow the pattern. Now's the time to take advantage from one of our very own, Brother Lawrence Shapsdeen. And next week we'll take a look at Detroit and Washington, D.C. Now we have a short announcement. Muslim Journal Annual Dinner, A Time to Be Grateful, will be heard on the first Saturday of December the 1st, 2007 at 6 p.m. here at the Homewood Hotel. Tickets are on sale now at the Muslim Journal booth, and see Aisha K. Mustafa or Latifa Wangari or Tahida Abdullah to purchase tickets only. That's pretty good. More details in this week's Muslim Journal. And it says, thank you. More details mean if you're curious about what you're going to pay, stop on by. Then there's another announcement here that's essential. Girls, girls, girls. See Mecca. See Mecca, Chicago Metropolitan Educational Center is starting a Girl Scout troop in the southern suburbs area, and we are opening it up to the community. You're invited to our first Girl Scouts meeting, Sunday, November 11, 2007. The Girl Scout Council, 1005 West 175th Street, Homewood, Illinois, 60430, in the complex next to the Muslim Journal. And that's from 2 to 4 p.m., ages from 5 to 12. What to bring? Your mother/guardian and a healthy snack to share. Cost $10 per membership, due at meeting. And that's from the C Mecca. Additional information, call Sia Mohammed at 301-523-0878. So we hope we all would follow up on those announcements. And we'd like to just take a quick peek at our additional paper, which is the Thinker magazine, Thinker newspaper. And it's, it came out with birth, it landed on its 2 feet. And we're proud of our additional media communication along with Muslim Journal. And I don't know, but I'd like to take another few minutes, if I may. And what we like to do, brothers and sisters, a lot of times we like to reflect a tad bit on our history, because what we're doing is amazing people that can write their own history. If you go back and talk to anybody that's studied any work of this magnitude, knowing that a new nation of people being born and have the ability to write their own history is amazing, as Muhammad Ali might say. And I'd like to take a quote from Evolution of a Community. And as the years golden, as the man said back then, the book has enormous value, and it will value as time grows. In 1975, when Imam Muhammad was speaking on the subject of men and women and their innate characteristics, he stated that women have the same intellectual and moral endowments as men, being weaker to men only in the physical strength. This helped motivate me to return to college and earn a degree in elementary education. The results of this action, I believe, is what has helped inspire my children to seek degrees in higher education. I was living proof that it could be done. Miss June Muhammad, deceased, Markham, Illinois, accepted Islam in 1970. Yeah. So, that type of perception from people like Sister June is timeless and will always have value in the hearts and minds of human beings. So, and I tell you, to be able to write our own history is really amazing. To go back and reflect and continue to grow and understand the type of leader that we have is just amazing. It amazes a lot of folk, and we got to get this message deep into the forest, deep into the village, to our Christian brothers and sisters. And that's our obligation. And how do we do it? We can't do it looking for the free train. Free train gone. That's going to deliver the package to you, us. So we have to pay our way. You know, we got cities and people that choose not to pay our way, but there are more folk coming on that understand the need to pay our way. And this is why we are highlighting, this is one of the reasons we are highlighting folk that have that courage and understanding that we got to pay our way. We say we support Imam Muhammad, then we got to pay our way. You know, we want respect in this civilized nation. We have to pay our way. So, you know, I got to reflect for a minute, see how we end everything. So we got the rabbit the rest of the day. He just, ain't no sweat to him. That's right. And we'd like to thank you, and we'd like to thank our wide and wonderful audience from sea to shining sea. And just sit back and relax, because in just a few minutes, and I must note, as most of you know by now, that Mr. Muhammad is in the house. That's right. So he's doing a little collective, and he will be with us momentarily. And I'd just like to make a note, a statistical note while we're waiting. And that is, you know, the $650-something billion billion that we generate each year. And then, now here's the downside to part of it. $22.9 million of that money is spent on clothes. And $3.2 million is on depreciative products. $11.6 billion on furniture. $11.6 billion on furniture. Most of us that's doing that high spending is renting. Yeah, I mean, it's something to think about. And the other thing is, among our favorite purchases, here's what we really like to purchase: new cars and alcohol. That's what the statistics say. They say we make up 12% of the United States population, yet account for 30%. We account for 30% of the scotch that's sold in these United States. 12% of the population account for 30% of the drinking. And for some reason, they noted Detroit City. They say Detroit is 80% African American or black, and the world's #1 market for cognac consumption. Look out, Detroit. A whole lot of shaking going on down there. So let's folk down in Detroit that listen to the broadcast, our Christian relatives and friends, let's think about that. And let's try to cut off, you know, at least cut the youngsters off, put them on a better way, let them know that this is much better. Water them holding up radio for those that can't see. And then, you know, but now here's the killer. The only scheme that we cut back on, and that was purchasing books. That's where we dropped at. In 2000, we was at 3.6 million. And in 2002 or 3, we dropped down to 303. $303 million fall from 356 on purchasing literature. So, you know, and what's causing that? Cable stations do 99, 125 channels. Start there. But now, this is an interesting note. It is a note that, a theme that the Imam has been on from day one. And this note says, short-sighted behavior. Now, we're talking about the plight of our people. And look, we're strong enough to do something about it, folks. Now, let's understand that. Can we get an amen? Amen. Oh, yeah, it's weak back over here, but can we get an amen? Amen. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Somebody's still holding back. So that means you ain't with it right now. But we're strong enough to do something about it. Because as you're hearing this here, New York is hearing it, Connecticut is hearing it, New Jersey is hearing it. The Carolinas is hearing it. Mississippi, Alabama is hearing it. You just keep on going around this country, and folk are hearing this. So, I mean, we can do something about this. Now, it says, short-sighted behavior motivated by a desire for instant gratification and social acceptance. You know, when the man came in office, he wasn't wearing a tie. And that was so exciting to a lot of us, we stopped wearing ties. You know, to get some ground, get something to stand on. And then we step back out into the establishment with a tie on, because we understand that this don't make us, we make it. And it says that and social acceptance comes at the expense of our future. So, you know, we're cutting off our future, brothers and sisters, by our social behavior. Spending that money like, and brothers and sisters, we thank you for your patience and time, and we'll give way whenever the man is ready, you know, for him to take us on that ride. Nice, long, adventurous trip that's going to do us all well, and always have been and always will. And look, it's our duty to pass it on to our relatives and friends and our close family, our distant relatives, distant friends, our Christian community friends. That's our job. We have a job. Now, if one man can do his job, one man can do his job, and, I mean, you know, coming out of, in essence, well, the Nation of Islam. But coming out of the Nation of Islam, one man to make this strong movement. Now, how many of us have been replicated? So if one man can make this achievement, what about the family of us? You know, we just have to get down with it and be serious about it. And say, well, at least I can call the radio station and see what's going on there. At least I can do that. And at least I can find a couple, 2 or 3 businessmen to help do that. At least we can think about a Supreme Delight fish. At least we can do that. And you know, we have our own market, we have our own suits and everything. At least we can do that. So,
we thank Brother Rafa. Yes, Allah is greater. Takbir, God is greater. That's what it says. We thank Brother Rafa for keeping us entertained and informed. Praise be to Allah. I was enjoying it. In fact, I wasn't quite ready to come to the mic. I was into what he was saying. I have to kind of collect my papers here. Can you hand me that folder? Yes, thank you, please. Yes, sir. Greetings to our radio listening audience. We are always thankful to you for being interested in what we are all about. And we are also thankful always to God. We say Allah in our religion, Allah, the name is Allah, for the presence here, because you could be somewhere else and I could be somewhere else. And some of us could be held back because of problems of health, but we're here. That's right. And I hope the live broadcast is reaching persons who are confined because of health. I hope it's reaching them as well, because when we engage matters of importance for the community life, we engage matters of importance for all of us. And when we do that, we also give off with words and with spirit a healing influence that soothes our souls and make for a better people in our minds and actions, and also make for better people in terms of health. You'd be surprised how much good comes from just good. In our holy book, our God says, what is the reward of good except good? Yes, praise be to God. And we say, Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah. I'm going to slowly get into this. Be patient. Sometimes I'm more humorous than I want to be. I hope you don't find my words too humorous. They're serious. But I told someone in the public place, we were sitting in there, and as soon as I finished one little humorous statement, I came back with another. And I was coming with them so fast, I became aware that they were wondering, who is this guy and what this guy is all about? So I just stopped it by saying I'm the good humor man. Yes. This world is so serious. If you don't have a little humor, we may find you on the funny farm somewhere. I'll be really going from one concern to another. And one concern is to accept that we are not all the same in our mind, in our aspirations, what we choose as a life for ourselves. We're not all the same. Not to mention that we're not all the same in religion. We're not all the same. But what we want to work on together is finding where we are the same and identifying where we are the same. And if we have problems in that area, we want to solve those problems. Because where we are to be together, we don't want problems. And I think that's easy for us. But if we don't work on it together, it'll never be solved. And working on it separately makes it very difficult. We don't have to be physically working together, but if our mind and spirit be the same for that particular area where we should be united or we should be together, then we will be together, though physically separated or separated by our interests. As long as we have serious interest in being together where we should be together, we're going to be all right. We're coming live on this first Sunday, November 4th, 2007. I feel a bit poetic today. At birth, the name given Grandpa was William Poole. Wally, he named his son Elijah, E-L-I-J-A-H, Elijah, at birth. Elijah, that's his name, at birth. How does that grab you? Yeah. Elijah left the church for the street. Dove love. How does that grab you? Yeah. On this time change day in Homewood, warm and sunny, W.D. preaching for bread money. Yeah. A son of Willie, the preacher, and his son Elijah, W.D., that son, is completely sober on this media wire. Wallace D. preaching with his spirit is not in keeping with his spirit. 5 whole loaves of bread to be smoked through the nose. Yeah. Woo. How does that grab you? Love is the most powerful force in living flesh. Ordinarily, a small bird flies away when a man comes near. That same little bird becomes a deadly foe for the protection of its babies in the bird's nest. I know because a bird once thought I was coming to disturb that nest with her babies in it, and she came at me looking wild and vicious. Her size was exaggerated by her emotions that was moving her to just come blindly at what she normally would run from. Love is a potent seed. An apple seed has in its power reproduction, the reproduction of a big apple tree. Out of a little apple seed comes a tree, roots, trunk, branches, stems, leaves, flowers, and bushels of apples. The same picture is true of lumber-producing trees. Man's wooden structures, frame houses, etc., are the production that came out of a little seed. No wonder the seed plant life is pictured as love. Human population numbers for this earth have reached the 6 billion mark. The human seed cannot be seen by humans unless a magnifying glass is used, a microscope. From what is much smaller in size than a speck of dust grows out to be a 900-pounder. No one wants a mammoth figure for themselves. However, the human life spec has that much growth in it and more, because I've heard of some people weighing 1,200 pounds. Life is filling, F-E-E-L-I-N-G. Life is filling, and that's where life begins. The baby comes here from his mother, just delivered, and it has fillings. And when its fillings are touched, it wakes up to our world. It opens its eyes and become aware or alert in our world. Life is also intelligence. Feeling and also force. Life is force. The force was not the baby's doing on its own. The God that created life created the life to force the baby out of the confinements of his mother's flesh into our world. Feeling, force, and intelligence. All three work together. And all three will make us or break us. Feeling, force, intelligence. Where are we going with this? We're going to the place where we are divided, but where we should be at the same time united. United. Common decency and common sense. History is not a report of one person's life. For any subject, the historian looks for circumstances as they relate to the person or to the person's life, the person that's being presented in the history. As powerful as it is, love fails the lover when love is not benefiting from common decency and common sense. Common decency and common sense make possible human conditions for a sustained community life. The common good. We couldn't support the common good if we didn't have persons living decency or living common decency and living common sense. The dictionary, American Heritage Dictionary, College Dictionary, gives in its definition for decency this meaning, end quote, the necessities for an acceptable standard of living. The necessities for an acceptable standard of living. Since Dr. King's, quote, freedom now, and Elijah's, quote, do for self, Black America's life has been an open door to scavengers and exploiters. They have virtually become extinct. The grassroots, standard bearers. When I was a boy, I used to hear the expression from the preacher. I mean the preacher in the Nation of Islam. The standard bearer. They were aware that a congregation, like a neighborhood, like a community, must have standard bearers to survive and keep the good life. Survive and keep the good life. The good life is the life that offers us a good future. The good life is progressive, not stagnated or stagnant. We have lost those old seasoned preachers, and that's a big loss. Big loss, big loss. Showing when divided, people are to be united is the purpose for my address right here, this first part of it. Americans' most serious separation is the separation of the rich and the poor.
Yes, sir.
The rich and the poor. Wherever there is a natural need for people to be together, the Satan comes in there. And he wants to disrupt it, confuse it, turn you against one another, because the only way he can achieve what he's out after, what he's out to get, is to keep the important God-given relationships from being healthy and growing. He doesn't want those relationships to be healthy, because if they're healthy, they're going to grow. And he knows that. So he wants to keep them sick, corrupted, so they won't develop properly as God wants them to develop and progress. The rich and the poor, we've been deceived. We've been turned against each other. You know, when you're doing without, and you know the society is not that fair by you, and that was a condition we suffered for the whole time of plantation slavery and for the time after plantation slavery, up until just recent in our history in America. So we can understand why there is not a unity in that divide. Certainly, we're divided, we're separated. We know wealth separates the wealthy from the poor. We know that. They can live in better conditions, they can move, they have more freedom of movement to move out of a bad situation into a better one. They have so much more freedom than poor people. We know there's a big difference. Certainly there's a big difference. But if you belong to a religion and you have not been overcome by Satan's inducements that he come into your mind and into your heart and into your soul as an influence and induce in you attitudes that's really against your own better interest. Yes. We want justice, we want fairness, and we want even more from rich people. We want charity from rich people. And charity in our religion is not something that you haven't qualified for. The rich did not become rich in a situation or in circumstances where there was only the rich. The rich became rich because there were circumstances that they could benefit from, and those circumstances were the conditions or the circumstances for the poor. So they came in and saw opportunities to grow wealth in the circumstances of the poor. Therefore, charity is not something that we don't qualify for. Then we live in a society governed by laws. And we have to pay taxes like everybody else. We're taxed like everybody else. There's the public domain. It's paid for by taxes. Those taxes are collected from the citizens. And we are among those citizens, taxed. So we help to keep the roads fit for us to drive on, smooth It won't break the axles of the car, potholes and whatever. It won't give us flat tires and break the axle of the car. But who benefits the most? It's the people with the most money. Because if they have to stop and fix a flat, their hour, their time is much more valuable than ours in terms of dollars. So they're losing big dollars to fix a flat, bigger dollars to have the car put in the shop for the axle to be repaired or replaced. So they lose much more than we lose, but we are also keeping the roads good so they won't have busted tires, potholes and busted tires and broken axles. So what religion wants for society is justice, fairness, and I repeat, giving charity to the poor from the hand of the wealthy is something the poor is due. We'll do that. And the burden shouldn't be placed unreasonably on government, because every time we place the burden on government, government has to spend more money, employ more people, get better or extra facilities. And when government has to spend more money, the citizens have to pay more money. And that impacts the poor more so than the rich. So we have to understand this. We have to understand these things. See, I'm the good humor man, but I'm also the public education teacher.
That's right.
And you can't get the public education that you need to solve your problems as poor people from the elementary school, the high school, and the colleges. No, we have to have standard bearers who register the problem and how serious it is and devote themselves to informing the public and informing them in a way that will result in them being better educated as citizens or members of the society. The standard bearers. Yes. As I'm talking, I'm recalling some really great standard bearers that I was acquainted with as a young man, young boy and a young man. The devil has set us up.
Yes.
Satan,
Yes.
the invisible evil, has set us up. That evil wants us to think that rich people are our enemies. Want us to think that rich people have gotten over the easy way. But most of the very rich people who have been successful generation after generation, meaning that they have a family line
Yes, teacher.
that shows success for business. The one in the beginning or in the first generation perhaps was among us as a poor person, but used their intelligence and used their connections to build wealth.
Yes.
And they became so wealthy that when we hear about them and what they have achieved, we don't think that they could have started in poverty. And by the way, we got a booklet, little booklet, says the poor was first.
Yes.
And what that little booklet is saying is that before man's world was established, the world was a natural world. And the natural world provided people with food, clothing, and shelter. Not only food, clothing, and shelter, we have to add transportation. Because before man's world, the transportation was the fast horse, the stubborn donkey, and some others that man learned he could ride. Yeah. All right. Oh, I like this. Well, this is, now I love to cook, but I'm in another kitchen now, buddy. Woo, and do I like this cooking? Oh yeah, I love this cooking. Now, the Satan, I said, has tricked us into seeing rich people as our enemies. President Clinton has put out a book recently, and in that book he named several persons of great wealth and their great charity. I visited the Clinton's library in Little Rock, and it has been published in our Muslim journal. I was invited and didn't even know it. I came to participate in the groundbreaking for a new masjid complex in Little Rock. And I'd heard of the new imam in that area, who's not completely new, but relatively new. And I wanted to go and let him know that I was aware of his great leadership, and I supported it. When I got there, there were more non-Muslims on the site than Muslims, recognizing the contributions that they were making to the community. And it turned out to be a wonderful experience for me. I got to the Clinton Library, and to my surprise, pardon me, I was scheduled to speak. And they had scheduled me for some time before I arrived there. You see how the Lord works? I didn't know I was supposed to speak, and I was only there for a day and for a night, and the next day I was gone. I didn't know I was supposed to be there. Those people had me there and was expecting me and everything. I didn't even know it. But God put me there. God put me there so I could answer what they expected of me. And we had a great time. Great time. Yes. Getting back to how our relationship, rich to poor to rich, is taken advantage of by the Satan. He wants the rich to spend all the money that they got the way he wants the rich to spend that money. And he wants the poor to not get the benefit from experiencing a friendship with rich people. Because if the poor experience a friendship with rich people, by virtue of them just having an interest and an association with rich people, they are going to benefit from the better experiences and from the better knowledge and skills that the rich have. And this relationship with the rich is going to help rise the level of the poor in the economic scale. Satan doesn't want that. Satan wants ignorant people, poor people, to be consumers and not producers. Praise be to Allah. Every time I hit a big one, I got to get a couple of breaths, so be patient. See, my heart registers big ones. Yes. This friendship that is natural. You know, in the South, some of the closest friends was a poor dirt farmer and a very rich man or woman. Some of the best friendships. But when we came up north, we came up to a different kind of situation altogether. You came up to a situation that didn't care about folk life, didn't care about people being warm toward one another, as much as it cared about people supporting the establishments. It was different, a little different, and in some instances, greatly different in the South. I know because I'm not a young fella. I'm an old rooster now. And I've heard a lot from my elders, especially my parents, my grandfather, father, grandmother, mother, close relatives, and also their friends who were not relatives. I've heard them say things about life in the South, and I learned a lot. I think we've learned more about life in the South from our families than we learned from textbooks, haven't we? I know I have. Yes. So this is an attempt to bring us back to a normal, natural way of relating to one another and also relating as poor people to rich people. And this encouragement for us will grow more and will increasingly become a friendly divide, a friendly relationship for the poor and the rich, as much as is possible. And the only thing that can hurt this a lot is the exception to the rule regarding persons of wealth and poor people. We know there are exceptions to the rule. There are rich people that hate to see you that you exist. They don't want to even see you. Why? Because you bother their conscience. You prick their conscience. They know they came into wealth on the back of the poor. They know that. So you bother their conscience. So they hate just that you're present. And a lot of us will mistake that hate for racism. It's not racism. It's a guilty conscience in the rich, in the better off people. And when they see you, you remind them of their neglect, of their moral neglect, of their citizen neglect, of their thieving, of their theft. Yes, they got rich off of you and your circumstances. Raphael, he touched upon wealth, how much money comes in, all these billions that come into us, into our hands. Ronald Reagan, I guess I make du'as for him for two reasons. He was a good cowboy in the movies. He and his wife, they were good stars, good movie stars. So that's one reason, I think. I just tend to make a dua for them occasionally. But I think another reason is that he gave us big help, and we thought it was just negativism coming from a white man. He said, your day have come and gone. He heard some of the preachers, our preachers said, like this was when he was campaigning. He heard some of our preachers saying that this is our day. He said, your day has come and gone. And he didn't give us more understanding on it, but I know what he wanted to say. Yeah, President Johnson was your day. When President Johnson was the president, that was your day. It's gone. And we know that it wasn't only President Johnson, but he stood out. There were other Democrats and some Republicans too that were really helping us get free, and get where we could feel that we are citizens of this country. You know, a lot of us couldn't even feel that we were citizens of this country when there was the ugly South, the plantation life, and the ugly 100 years of lynching us and terrorizing us, so that we would never have enough courage to stand up to a white man, not to a white man that was serious about putting us down. The Ku Klux Klan, their psychology was, if we burn them and hang them and beat them and ride them down, they will eventually fear us so much we won't have to worry about them. We can sleep and not worry about them rising up and making trouble for us. 100 years of that. So all of that ugliness made some of us feel that really is no hope with these people.
That's right.
And that's why the black nationalists formed their movement.
That's right.
Didn't believe that there was any hope in the future for us with white folks.
Right.
And that's why Mr. W.D. Farad, Mr. Farad, Wali Farad Mohammed came and found my father and made a leader out of him.
That's right.
Because he knew. In fact, he said it. He said, speaking of himself, I come as the Son of Man in the clouds. That means hiding my real image from you. And I come to get the lost sheep.
Go ahead.
I come to get the lost members of the Nation of Islam. And a lot of us don't know now that the great majority that was brought to these shores and made slaves, they were brought from Islamic nations or Islamic places. Not from Christianity, but from Islamic lands we came. So if we want to speak of a heritage, we must speak of Islamic heritage first.
That's right.
And then say, well, all of us have our own opinions, and we have the right now to look back at our past and take what we had or identify with that past life or not. And that is our right. I wouldn't even hint that a Christian doesn't have the right to stay Christian, because now we have lived church life so long, we also have a Christian heritage.
Yeah, go ahead.
But the Islamic heritage was before the Christian heritage.
That's right.
So the Islamic heritage is more the right of the black man in America than a Christian heritage. Why? Because the Islamic heritage was taken from us by force.
That's right.
Allahu Akbar. God is the greatest, yes. So this what I'm trying to do is build upon a friendship that is not, in this time that we're living in, completely forgotten or lost. A friendship in the relationship of poor and rich, the poor and the rich. And it didn't have to happen for us in the South. Many of us have worked in the North as domestic workers. And we have found that the people who hired us took an interest in us and wanted to see us have a better life. And many of them imparted to us information that we would never be privileged to, because that information is in the circle of the rich.
Right.
And they would share that information with us. I worked in a home once with my friend Leroy. He got the job, painting job. And I was washing windows and doing other things for this apartment owner. And this white man, when I got ready to leave, he brought out a lot of suits. He said, these look like these could fit you. He said, look like your size. He said, can you use them? Man, oh man, I was put out of the Nation of Islam. The prodigal son's mouth was parched. Oh, I lit up. I said to myself, I don't care if they don't fit. I'm going to take them. I sure know how to get some benefit. So I said, yes, sir. I said, yes, sir. I sure can use it. You hear that? Yes, sir. Not yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want him to know where I came from. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I said it more than once so he'd have registered on it. Touch his heart. I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can use him. But the gift didn't come from him, but he gets the credit for it with God. The gift came from the hand of God, came from Allah. Because when I got home, every one of them fit me like I was that measured, and then they would get made and given to me. I mean, perfect fit. Nice suits. So all of us have memories of a relationship or a situation or circumstances that brought us in contact with the wealthy whites who were not bad people, but very good people.
That's exactly right.
Yes, sir. So we shouldn't forget that. And that's what I've been trying to do, and my time is up now. That's what I've been trying to do, build on what we already have, what we already know to be good for us. Whatever we have experienced. You know, I rejected my father's idea of God. I rejected all of his theology completely. I had to, for my heart to be at ease or at peace with the holy book that we claim, the Quran. So to be at peace with our own holy book that my father claimed and all of us claimed that were Muslim, I had to reject his theology completely. And study it. I love my father, so I'm not going to just throw him away and not study him to see what is right, what is wrong, what is good that I can keep. Because I don't want to throw him away completely. What child want to throw that have benefited so much from his father as I have? What child want to throw, and who knew his father that I know my father, I knew my father. What child want to throw away his father completely?
Go ahead, Brother Matt.
So if he find, even God says, look what God says. We going in, we passing the time now. Radio listening audience, if you have to leave me or if I have to leave you, peace and love. And don't forget what I said. There's no power in any flesh, a man, a beast, or a dove, or a nice little bird, stronger than the power of love. But don't forget, you have to hold on to three. Feeling, force, and intelligence. God be with you always. Peace. I will continue. I got an audience here that ain't going to move for a while. So I'll just continue. So I'll continue now. So when I studied my father's theology, even his theology, I found eye-opening hints in his theology, even in his theology. Eye-opening hints. And finally, I became convinced that all of his language was not to be permanent. His language was to be understood as hints, motivations, hints and motivations, and eye-opening hints. He called the white people devils. And he told us that they were devils by nature, born devils. And no need to think about them. Say, can the devil be reformed? No, sir. Now we said no, sir. That was some serious matter. Now don't stand up before the FOI captain or before the minister and read that and say, no, sir. No, sir. No, that wouldn't work. Say, brother, lift your head up and come out of slavery. It's no, sir. S-I-R. No, sir. Yes. So anyway, I came to understand that the nature of his language, and he always told his ministers in high-level meetings that took place right at his dinner table. He invited them to dinner, and at the dinner table they would have discussion. Sometimes it would go after dinner, but most of the time it was finished before the dinner was completed, and everybody would leave the dinner table and go home.
That's right.
Yes, and he told them, say, brother, you have to look deep. Look deep means don't just read the cover, the face of the book, and the face of each page, but look deep into it. have a curiosity to work for you when your knowledge stops.
Go ahead.
Have a curiosity that will keep working for you, trying to untwist, unravel, turn over, look under the language. Well, Allah bless the son of Elijah
Go ahead, Brother Sam.
to work with it,
That's right.
believing that it was not all wasted, that there must be something hidden here, and I want to find it. I wasn't the only one. Many of us in the Chicago area and every place, East Coast, West Coast, everywhere, did not give up. Many of us did not give up. We believe that where our knowledge stopped,
Go ahead.
our curiosities could keep going and perhaps find the answer or an answer. And just one answer will be valuable. Any answer would be valuable. And when you find one answer, that answer helps you find another answer. Yes? It signals you to another research, to another discovery. Yes? And that's what happened to me. And I want you to know, don't you ever think you know more about Scripture than Mr. Farrar and Elijah.
Go ahead, Brother Sam.
You don't.
Go ahead.
I'm a witness
Go ahead.
because I know them and now I know you. I'm a witness. Yes. But they had to keep their mouths closed and not expose to the white man what they were doing with a black man. What were they doing with a black man? Reforming him, connecting him back to his heritage, leaving in his environment the most powerful revelation, the Quran, that in time would awaken the soul without awakening the mind.
Go ahead, Brother Sam.
And the soul would awake to carry the mind until the mind could wake up.
Go ahead, Brother Sam.
I'm speaking from reality.
Yes, sir.
It's psychological, it's philosophical, and it's also nature and common sense. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to close out on this rich people, poor people divide. And I want you to help me work on it until the relationship becomes normal and natural. If you don't mind, I'm going to leave you for about 5 minutes and come right back. When I come back, I'm going to work with another divide. It's going to even be more humorous than that one. You're going to enjoy it. I'm enjoying just the thought of it. I'll be right back. Inshallah. Brother Rafa, I'm going to leave all this right here. We have plenty of these books, but I brought some too. If you want to send me back with a little more money I came with, I'll give you a big deal. Everybody getting a special break on this first Sunday. $3 even and no more. Thank you very much for taking the books off of me, converting them into money so I can use it. Thank you very much. And one of our sisters was just very generous. She took 3 books and left $100. Thank you so very much, our dear sister Hassan. Thank you very much. So you hear somebody say, what are you going to do with all that money? You don't have to wonder. That was the voice of a donkey. And we want you to speak with man voice soon.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Farad said here, get busy. Your teacher is waiting to hear from you at what? Once. Right now, this instance. If there's any rich man, he doesn't know what to do with $1 trillion, bring it to this poor W. Dean Mohammed, son of Elijah.
That's right, sir.
You got some 50 more friends with trillion, tell them to come too, bring theirs too. Ain't no amount of money too much for anybody but a fool. Well, let me get back to here now. We want to leave some time, enough to at least take 4 or 5 questions, and we go from one side to the other and from female to male, given equal time. There are 2 more divides or separations that I want to address before questions, before we accept questions. Comments, don't have to be a question. Sometimes your comment or your statement that you want to make is as important as any question could be. Yes. This one is the separation of the beautiful and the ugly. And I'm talking about right now in physical appearance. This separation of the beauty and the ugly is so naturally ingrained in people, it is not noticed as a problem. Beauty and ugliness are in the eye of the beholder. I saw a movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it also was a good book, a novel, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And his face, or his whole figure, was supposed to strike you as ugly. Not just his face, his whole figure was supposed to strike you as an ugly thing. But before that movie was halfway or 2/3 into his running or his time, I had forgot the Hunchback of Notre Dame was ugly. He had captured my heart.
Yes, sir.
And not only that, he captured a woman's heart that he loved. Beautiful woman, he captured her heart. Yes. So, beauty and ugliness is in the eye of the beholder. At this point, I want to mention that I was just glancing through, and I didn't have a subscription for it. At one time, I do believe I was a subscriber for the Essence magazine. But I happened to see the Essence magazine, and it was really out of the area where it's supposed to be. Somebody just left it on the counter, and it wasn't put back where it's supposed to be. And I saw on there something that I was interested in, so I picked it up, and I bought it and brought it home. And then, as I was getting other information out of the magazine opened up on advertisement. And one beautiful lady in the magazine, her hair is in braids, you know, natural braid, natural, woolly or nappy hair, braided, and looking very pretty. I don't think Essence would have had her in there unless she was very attractive, pretty. And the other one had her hair like straight, like what we call white folks' hair. And she was also looking very pretty, very pretty. So I looked at the wording, the caption, the words on the one for the like white hair, straightened hair, or white folks' hair, as we would say. We could say monkey hair, dog hair. All those animals have straight hair. Yeah. But we say white folks hair. Oh, that girl got white folks hair. Mr. Farad came and tried to get us out of that. He did. There was a time in the Nation of Islam when it was against the law of the Nation of Islam for you to straighten your hair. Some of you still around, you know it. I heard someone say yes, so, and most likely they were witnesses to that time. Yes. It was against the law of the Nation of Islam for you to straighten your hair. But the Honorable Elijah finally relaxed it and everything. Yes. So the Essence magazine caption that caught me was the one with the lady who had the braids, the woolly braids, or African braids, I guess they call African braids. And I actually brought it with me, but I know exactly what's on here. I don't know if you can see the face. Can you see something from that distance? Aren't we some pretty folks? I miss Muhammad Ali coming on TV and saying, "And I'm pretty, and I'm pretty." And he be talking to white folks with straight hair, and he got nappy hair. And I'm pretty, and I'm pretty. And he was. And you know they love him more than they love most of their own popular figures, popular celebrities. They love Muhammad Ali. See, people love you when you love yourself. And they hate you when you hate yourself. Now, I don't know whether these words came from this lady or not, but yes, they did, because they got these words in quotes, and her name up on them. Her name is Jocelyn Bio, I think it's pronounced, B-I-O-H. And she is a college grad, only 23 years old, young lady. And she says, young lady with the wisdom of the deep thinkers. She said, I am a queen because I own, O-W-N, because I own my inner and outer beauty. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that profound? Because I own. Nobody else got this for me. Nobody else is possessing it for me and working on me from their interests. No, I own it. My inner. See, she went to the unseen beauty first. Went to the qualities of life first before the physical appearance of life. She said, I own my inner and outer beauty. If we all had her disposition, we wouldn't be destroyed by our possessions. Possessions such as beauty can destroy the soul, and then the mind. First the soul, then the mind is destroyed. Vanity, stuck on your own self, thinking that your value is your outer beauty. Make you walk in Chicago, windy city, dead winter, snow, knee-deep, wind whipping you, and your breasts all showing. Because that's what's possessing you. You don't own your breasts. Your breasts have reached you through your emotions and through your feelings, through your soul, and have possessed your very soul, owned by your breasts. So you go out and get the flu and get pneumonia, and everybody come see you for the last time. You're looking so pretty. Cheated out of a life by vanity. Now, how are we going to heal this divide? The ugly and the beautiful. We're going to adopt, more of us are going to adopt her attitude toward her good looks, and going to accept from her or from somebody that no matter how beautiful you are outwardly, the most valued beauty is the beauty within. And if you got the beauty within, you can look hideous outside. But if people will tolerate your hideous looks long enough to get acquainted with what's on the inside, oh, they would have no problem hugging you and kissing you and even marrying that ugly person. Spirit is more powerful than flesh. And the soul registers and registers and fires the spirit. It registers spirit and fires spirit. Fires it up. Fires it outward. Fires it forward to a purpose, etc. Oh, yes. Not speaking from emotions. This man, not speaking from emotions. I'm speaking from knowledge. We'll go about 10 minutes or more, and then we'll give about 15 minutes for questions or comments. Vanity is one of the most serious defects, human defects, that's given in the scriptures. It's a carnal sin. It's one of the major sins. Vanity. Vanity means you're stuck on yourself, or you're stuck on whatever the object is of that vain attitude and disposition inside of you. It doesn't have to be you personally. Some people buy a car and change so much. The person you met when you were a child is dead. This new nigga, this new disgusting Negro, excuse me for saying nigga, I apologize, I'll pay the fine. But if it's more than 2 cents, I ain't gonna pay it. changed so much. Ooh. I remember a person used to be close to me. I used to love them too. I liked them and loved them. And I used to enjoy that company. But I knew there was something there that I didn't want to touch me. I didn't want to rub off on me. Even when I liked them, they had something I just didn't want it to get on me, you know. They turned out to be vain. Sickening. If you're a natural person, a person who is overly vain, beyond normal limits, vain, they're the worst person you can have in your immediate environment. Worst person you can have in your company, pardon me. Their presence torture you so much, you just wish you could disappear. Just not be there, just instantly disappear or something. Yes, they don't know just how sickening they are. How are we going to bring the beautiful and the ugly to not feel that they are divided and cannot be united? Do we see any ugly believers if we are true believers in this religion? Do we see any ugly believers? You don't think of anybody as ugly. Nobody is ugly. Isn't that evidence of the power of right-mindedness? That's evidence of the power of right-mindedness. When your mind is rightly composed, you don't see ugliness in anybody that's in that religion and sincere like you are. You never think of even the person you don't know. You just gather, or you just take for granted they're Muslim because they're with you or with us. You don't never see any ugliness. You have to really stand out.
Yes, sir.
Now I have to confess that I have seen some projections of ugliness that was so strong. But as I said, you know, that's how the Hunchback of Notre Dame struck me too when the movie first came on. But as he grew on me and I grew to see into him, not just on him, but into him. Oh, I felt so comfortable with the man. I loved him just like the woman was loving him. And that's how we'll be. So to me, the value of such observations speak for the wisdom and great love of God himself. That's some love, God's love, that he have made us like this. That if we are rightly composed inside, we are fit to deal with any and every problem outside. That's the love of God in us. And the greatness of God, his greatness that has created us, molded us to be such matter that we are as human beings. I think I'm about at the end here. Yes. Yes, I am at the end. I used to say, white folks, I don't know why people want white women. They ugly. That shows you how powerful the Nation of Islam's teaching was. Make me see a mother's plane at the time they told me to be in the sky. I got up there just before 4 o'clock, and I saw the mother's plane, just as plain as anything could be. And it took me about 6 years to wake up to the fact that that wasn't the only thing that I saw and thought it was real, and it wasn't. And we looking at white women. We don't want ugly devil. We don't want ugly white devil. Boy, when the Quran made me accept humanity and condemn people just for their actions, for their deeds, I said, well, boy, I didn't know these white women were so pretty. Wow, that white lady fine. I walking through the airport, I had to stop. I said, whoa, Lord. I think you were with me. I said, look, Ralph. I said, look, Ralph. Oh, that woman was so fine. She's so fine, she had a martial arts expert with her, and you knew he was a martial arts expert. You didn't have to ask. Go up there and say, you knew he was a martial arts expert. I mean, he had all the looks and the movements of a martial arts expert. And I told Rafa, I said, she needs that. Now, this is not to take anything away from our sisters. Because, Lord knows, I've seen our sisters that could walk right with her. And if the sister behind or speed it up, your eyes just might go off of the white woman and keep up with the sister. Stay on the sister. The white world put us down and said we were inferior human beings, inferior human stock, and said and tried to make us believe we were ugly. So God just let them put their blood in us. And now, if you want to find the prettiest Chinese or Asian, that woman is among us. If you want to find the prettiest or most attractive Chinese, Japanese, Hawaiian, French lady, Frenchman, or French woman, anything you can think of, we got it. We got it. All you have to do is look at the magazines. Don't look at them too much now. You might want to close your eyes when you go to bed. I ain't supposed to do that. Most of us ain't blessed to have what these magazines be showing us. I had a wife, she kept magazines away from me. Even lady magazines, she kept them away from me. and I appreciated it. There's a saying, it'll really benefit us in the conclusion of this talk right now. There's a saying of the prophet that'll really benefit us, brothers. And I really want to have another brothers meeting, just brothers only, one day soon. Maybe we can do it on Savior's Day. Maybe we can have my Savior's Day address, but before or right after, I meet with the brothers only, Because some things that sisters have to say to each other, and we shouldn't be present. And there's some things brothers should say to each other, and they shouldn't be present. That's right, they shouldn't be present. Yes, so we, inshallah, that's done. This coming Savior's Day in Chicago, in the vicinity, suburbs, or in Chicago, we will have a brothers meeting. We need that. Man's meeting. Yes. And a lot of things have been coming to my mind. I said, I can't say this to a mixed audience. So inshallah, we'll have a brothers meeting in the February 26th on the Sunday, as close as we can to February 26th. The Sunday that's closest to February 26th, inshallah. We'll do that. Okay. So we're going to conclude this now. and give time, because we don't have much time. Yeah, it stopped right on it, about fifth quarter of, we got about 16 minutes or so. So we're gonna stop and give time for questions. Can you get the mics out there so they can come to the mic, please? If we have a floor mic. If not, they're gonna have to come up here and use this mic. If there's no mic in the aisle, please come up here and use this mic. I'm gonna push away from the mic so you can use it. Oh, he's getting it. The engineer is getting it right now. And please, go right to the point. Don't come up to the mic and then become dumbfounded. You moved on an impulse. You just wanted us to see the nice dress you're wearing or the nice suit. That vanity can get you in trouble.
One, two, okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Imam.
Alaikum assalam.
Brother Yassine.
Yes, sir.
Brother Imam, my question is, let me just say this before that. I told Brother Rafai, I talked to the daughter in Medina, but Sister Omani and I just came from California, Bird, Sister Marion Shaka. She passed last week, so they
yeah.
Marion Shaka.
Yeah. We pray her soul is in heaven, in paradise. Ameen.
Brother, my question is this. I don't know if this is a part of the beauty and lovely that divided my book. There is a growing conversation amongst our young people as I teach them, about this black-white, in the African diaspora, African American community, the black-white issue. And light skin versus dark skin.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's a different psychological problem, or if it's the same type of divide as the beauty and the
Yes. I recently spoke on that, along with some other problems that we have in our makeup as a people. I will just try to go right to the essence of the heart of what I was bringing out. And what I was doing is actually going back in my own life and remembering that as a child, I had no color problem. I didn't accept white folks to be among us or identify with them. No, I accepted that they were the devil, but I was seeing them as the devil, looking at their bad treatment of our folks. That's how I was seeing them as the devil. I wasn't just seeing all white folks as the devil. I was seeing white folks as a devil because they were the race. Were the race that gave us all the bad treatment they gave us from the time of slavery till that time when I was thinking about them, but I never even, I would say, faced my own mind that was thinking that way. I didn't face it. It was just late in my life that I started studying, trying to analyze my own feelings and actions regarding the issue of race and etc. But one thing that I registered very strongly was the effect of that teachings on our own treatment of each other. Some of the very light ones felt uncomfortable because they could actually, as far as the skin color, they were as white as many white people that we know. And the hair like the white people, the skin colors like the white people. So I noticed, I could feel them. I was young, very young, but I could feel that they were not comfortable. And some of them, very light, looked like white folks, were very comfortable. So it depends on how you are affected inwardly by what's going on. How you are going to fare in an environment like that. Then I also noticed that there were some very black-skinned brothers especially. I wasn't looking at the sisters. I think sisters, because they bear life, they conceive life and deliver life. This nature of theirs keeps them so much in touch with the reality of life and death that they are just not susceptible, open to be influenced by a lot of hype that black men are open to. And I said hype, I mean it. Yeah. So I noticed that some of the brothers, they really took that to heart, took it serious. Black. One professor, PhD, we didn't have many. I remember a time when maybe we didn't have any. Yes, I do remember a time. No PhD heard of. No MA, no master's degree heard of in our community, in our following, in the following of my father. But along the late 50s, middle 50s, late 50s, and 60s, they came in. They started coming in slowly, but just a few. Even now, we don't have lots, you know. But anyway, and one of these brothers, I won't give his name, I wouldn't want to do that. One of these brothers, highly educated, PhD in high science, but he had it bad. Bad. Black. He just so happened he was black-skinned. He had it bad. And I knew another one, he wasn't educated. He was a common laborer, did hard work, very hard work, physical work. And he too had it bad. In fact, he had it so bad, he came to the restaurant one day, and I've shared this with you all on different occasions. Sisters, come out and serve the black God. That's what he said. They were waitresses. Sisters come to the restaurant. Come out, I was the manager there. Sisters, come out and serve the black God. So as a minister, as a young minister, I used to preach. And you know, my father never stopped me from doing the things that I did to change the way his followers thought. Never. Now that tells me that that man was very intelligent and he welcomed me with my mind and my preaching. They would report me too sometimes, but he never even brought it to me. Yes. So what I saw as a big problem for the unity of his followers was this literally taken to be real in reality idea that white people are inferior because they are white. They're inferior to us, and that they're devils, and we got whites among us, maybe by the classification of the white culture, they're not white, but by common sense, perception, I follow the color, the color language that I was given as a child in school. They said, that's white, this black, this red, this that. Okay, so that's what I applied. And I know that there were whites who I saw in the public who said they were white, and we had skin colors among us just as white as they were and whiter than some of them. I knew that. We had a sister who was my teacher. She looked like a white woman. She was my English teacher, Sister Suzanne Douglas. She was white looking. And we had some more white looking than she was, more white looking than she was. So I said to myself, we are dividing ourselves with this way of identifying ourselves, calling ourselves the black people. We are dividing ourselves. I said to myself, that's the wrong rallying flag or banner for our unity. And I preached it to the brothers and sisters. You'd be surprised how many Muslims became Muslims or followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad after hearing Minister Wallace D. Muhammad on 53rd and Greenwood. Yeah. A lot of them. Some of you probably here right now. You might not like me as much as you like me then. You might not want to acknowledge it. But I believe some of you are here right now that came in by me after I got through preaching on a Wednesday night or Sunday and asked who would like to accept their own. And I never put pressure on anybody to accept their own. But they would stand up, especially your brothers, but sisters too. They would stand up, say, yes, I want to become a member. And they would become a member after hearing my lecture. I'm curious. Is there anyone that came in under young Minister Wallace? Are you still around? If you are, raise your hand. I see one here. Thank you. Yes, I saw some more hands. Yes, yes. 53rd and Greenwood. That's where I was preaching most of the time, for most of the time that I was minister in the Nation of Islam. Until I left and went to Philadelphia. Then I was preaching in Philadelphia. Yes. So, Professor, I'm sure that it's a problem for us. We should, inside our community, we should remember that in Islam, there's no color consciousness. In Islam, no color consciousness. Muhammad the Prophet said, and in the Quran, black is uplifted and white is uplifted, and red is uplifted. All the colors are uplifted, especially black, white, and red. And these used to be the three descriptions of the divisions along race lines for all people. Just three: black, white, and red. In fact, it was not black, white, and red. It was black, red, and brown. Black, red, and brown. It wasn't yellow for the Asians, brown for the Asians. And those that are white, the white Asians, many white Asians, they fell under the white classification. But they would be called red back then, the old description. They would be called red. Even the white people called red, not white. In the time of Prophet Muhammad, when they referred to the white people, they didn't say white, they said red. Red. And you know, red people, it's the way that you responded to, all people got their color from the sun. The sun made the blacks black, the sunlight made the reds red, the sunlight made the browns brown. Nobody was made white by the sun. Those that are white, they were made white because they didn't get sunlight. They got very little sunlight. That's why they're white. So they're not classified. The white is not even classified. because their true color is how their skin responds to the sun.
Yes, sir.
And it turns red in the sun.
Yes, sir.
So they're called the red people. We turn black in the sun. We're the black people. Others turn brown in the sun. They're the brown people. For some reason, those far away yellow people that actually turn yellow in the sun. Japanese turn yellow in the sun. And they wear umbrellas to keep, they don't like to turn yellow. So they, in the sunlight, they wear umbrellas to keep the sun from striking their skin directly, because it will turn them yellow, turn their skin yellow, which doesn't look too good, or yellowish. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's very important for us to not just accept language or words, but try to find out why those words or that language apply to us or describe us. And I got a book coming out. In fact, I completed it. It'll be out soon. Allah has blessed me to get I've been wanting to write books for a long time. Write books, not give speeches and then somebody put it in a book. And Allah has blessed me now. I'm doing it. I actually completed one. And in this book, what I'm saying is that identifying as a skin color does not situate us to become culturally enriched. But if we identify as humans and an ethnic group, an African or African American ethnic group, then we are situated to become culturally rich. How come black? Actually, I'm analyzing the situation, and my conclusion is that we cannot go forward with a culture of our own because we have the wrong way of identifying our vital life.
Yes, people.
You didn't ask for all that, Professor. And I'm sorry for taking up all that time. I'm going to extend it since I'm the one that took up all the time. You still got 10 minutes. You had 10 minutes when the professor left the mic. You still got 10 minutes.
Assalamu
Alaikum
alaikum.
assalam.
Brother Imam stated that he was going to take questions from males and females.
Yes.
We only have males in line, so we need 3 sisters to even it off. So we can have a sister come up and bring a question, please. No sisters, Brother Imam?
I see one. I see a sister. She's coming. Our sister who take care of our senior citizens, sisters, senior citizens. She's coming.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Thank you very much. First comment I would like to make, I think, would be main comment, was that the comment you made on beauty, and because I was having concern this week about our young sisters and them not feeling secure enough within themselves to be modest in their dress and things like that. Okay, I guess I know also I'm kind of nervous. Vanity is something, and bashfulness is something, so we're supposed to seek the middle course, and I'm trying to not be so bashful when it comes to certain things. But when you were speaking, and my concern is always people in general, and when you were speaking about love getting power thing, and we having a lot of our people getting older and disabled, and about the spirit, and I see in our community a lot of illness in our seniors being like cast aside. Now, maybe not only our seniors, but us as each other being isolated. And it brings a real concern about community life. And we witness here in Chicago, I don't know any others, a lot of our seniors and disabled being in nursing homes. And one sister that had been in the community 50-some years, and she was put in a nursing home, and I went to visit her every day because she said, I didn't know you loved me that much. It wasn't that I was there and I just couldn't see the condition that you give your life to Islam. And they're forced to eat pork, they're forced to listen to other religious services and stuff. And this is a concern. I have several people that have come to me and saying we need a nursing home. What I would like to do, and I've been trying to work on this for a few years and stuff, is not just to have a nursing home, but disabled service, where we make sure that our people do not necessarily go into those kind of places, and if they're able to be in their own homes, that we provide the service so they can have, because they need the love. If you have a spirit in life, if you don't feel that no one loves you, it's just like you pass away, like Brother said. A lot of even young people are passing away, and I don't know if you all know it, a lot of people, and a lot of teenagers, young people want to commit suicide because we are losing that humanism that we're supposed to have. Islam is supposed to have us human first, and we're supposed to provide those things. And if we have problems, I think we should try to solve them. So my concern, I want to learn a lot listening with a building, a house right next to my house. I had been praying for years. I don't know if you had heard when I was telling with Brother Albert that I was looking for a house that would house at least 5 people. What I want to do is put a dormer there so it can house at least 8 people. So they don't necessarily have to stay there, but when they come out of the hospital, that they get care until they get strong enough. Those who are not able to be strong enough can, live there. But what we want to do is those who you have to have a special interest in people to be able to deal, and those who are interested want to get together and set up this kind of program. I was talking to a sister earlier that a lot of people are passing away and they don't have finances. We want to be able to take care and provide for a community need. So that's one concern. I pray to a lot of people let's ask questions, because a lot of times I want to say something, but that bashing is everywhere. So a lot of people punish me because I'm not going to go and say anything. So thank you. Praise be to Allah. So that's my concern. I want to get those people who are knowing and provide those services. And God bless me with the house. I've been here almost 3 years, and I've been just kind of, so I could get it together and stuff. So for those people that's interested, I want to do that. We have to deal with it. Thank you. That's all.
Yes, we support you. I support you, we support you. Yes, and I know that among the senior citizens who are not able to live alone or to live without a nursing assistance, I know that among them are some dynamic persons. You can find one in a wheelchair. You can find one on their bed, in the bed. You can find one sitting up, walking around, playing cards maybe at this facility. We need to find such persons that are Muslim. Then we need to have a situation like this. Rent this same area or some other area, and have cultural nights for them, and have them speak, and get some of our good entertainers. We got some good entertainers, got the best, I think, and have them come and perform for the senior citizens and for those handicapped that can make it out. They actually can come on the scene, on the premises, and perform for them. And those who can't participate, make sure that they get a DVD or something and show it in their bedrooms. This will really help them a lot. If I live to see 1,000 years, and I be, as my nephew say, I be dropping dust as I walk along, I'm gonna still have life in me. I'm gonna still want to come out and enjoy myself. Yes, and I think most of them want the same, but some of them think that it's all over for them. As you said, they think it's all over for them because they're not shown love. So inshallah, I hope that you will carry it a little bit further and actually provide entertainment nights for them, maybe once a month or so, where they can come out with each other, but so they don't feel like they being discriminated against. It'll be open for all of us to come out. We all come out and join them and enjoy the program with them. And it'll be their night, it'll be their program. And it'll feature one of them to come up and motivate them more. Yes. Okay, so who's the next one?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Yes, I had a small announcement. This is in regards to business this time.
Keep the mic a little closer. Hold it a little closer so they can hear it all over.
Okay. There's a bakery, A&M Pies, that has ceased existence over the weekend. We've been in business for 30 years, and we supported our community for that time period, and now it's over with. And I basically was trying to find out if there was anyone in this building in power to help us restructure this business and put it back together so I can continue to provide jobs for our brothers and sisters in our community. Please come speak with me. I'll be in the vending room. My name is Mohammed. I'm speaking for the bakery, and my mother, Sister Aziza Mohammed. She was too shaken up. She really wanted to be here today, but her spirits just wouldn't allow her. She tried several times to make it out the door, but she couldn't make it. So that was basically my statement and my question. Is anyone in power to help us restructure? I appreciate the conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, I know Jamal. In fact, I knew him grew up from a child, and loved him and his family. Jamal, did you leave a contact number for yourself? If there are some persons out there, you need a contact number.
Well, I have a contact number, but I don't know how long that'll be on. Without no business, all these things just seem to perish under your feet.
Well, how about the Muslim Journal's office and the ministry's office, both receiving calls or visits from persons who might be interested, and we forwarding the information on to your email or to your phone, as long as it stays on, and to your address, a mailing address. So leave a mailing address with one of the security guards. You can leave it right with the sister right here. Yeah. Sister on the front row there?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave one number, cell phone number, it's 773.
And maybe you should leave an address just in case we have to forward mail to you.
Okay.
Mm.
It's 934.
You talk
65.
talk to her. Yes.
Oh, okay. 773.
Repeat it one more time.
So 773-934-6510. Thank you.
My name is
Alaikum
Sakia
assalam.
Sadiq, and I would like to comment on the statement that Sister Shakira made. And my heart goes out to the seniors and to our believers that are in rehab and so forth. And I would like to get on board with you. I've always had that in my heart to do something for our seniors and our handicapped believers. I even want to just open my house up and bring them in. You know, I hate seeing them in nursing homes and being alone. And perhaps I can help you as far as getting the city and their services, which they do provide for our handicapped as well as our seniors. And they do have home living assistance. And I wasn't aware of your home that you had next door to you. And I'll be more than glad to come on board and help you with that. And any other services I can provide, because they are out there and they will provide you with home care services for our handicapped.
Yeah.
Senior citizens. Anybody else would like to come on board, that would be great, because
Yeah.
We always need finance.
Yeah, you know, Sister Samira.
Yes.
You know Sister Samira?
Yes, I do.
I know. You should know her very well.
Yes, I do.
And I think she knows you very well too. Yeah. So it's you have made your interest known. So inshallah, you all work together and we have more progress for our senior citizen situation that they're in, and the handicap, and the handicap. Inshallah, yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
And give your husband my greetings. All right.
My name is Talib Abdul Salam. Years ago, my mother sat me in her lap, and she picked up the Bible. There was a picture of Caucasian in the Bible. She said, it doesn't look like one to help us. And also, when I was in the church in Galway, Alabama, they gave us a lecture, and I got up, went to the morning bed. And on my way, I thought, oh, good Lord, let me get up and be a father. And on a great day, be a father. Here I am.
Yeah. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
Assalamu
Alaikum assalam.
So with all the senior citizens, me being one, 85 years old at this point in time, and of course my interest is in senior citizens, and not only senior citizens, but a historical society. My husband, John Hassan, never threw away one paper. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of his whole history, him with Elijah Muhammad, all the different stages of the growth and the development. And I think it's time that we establish a historical society. Number one, because we have all these beautiful senior citizens passing away with such a tremendous history. And then to honor the persons like John Hassan and Elijah Muhammad, and all of them that had such beautiful history that will literally go down in history for eternity. So I think that we need an organization, a historical society that's sincere about looking. I've had people want to come in and take them and snatch them and do what they want to do with them. But I think we need an organized, legalized society that deal with it in a professional way to honor the Elijah Muhammad, all of those that literally gave their lives and their thoughts and their energies. I thank you for just listening to me and my concern.
Yeah, I like the idea very much. And I'm aware that there's a big effort on the way, and look like it's progressing very well. It's by mostly grandchildren of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I was just at a meeting that they had very recently, and they have a lot of they're very well educated. Most of them are educated, and they're professionals with professional skills for the job that they have stood up to accomplish. And it's very much like what Sister Hassan is suggesting. But I don't think that there should be one effort. We are a national group. We're bigger than we think we are, much bigger than we think we are. The average believer in this community, in this association, you don't know how big this association is. You see it small. You see it in your own immediate environment and immediate connections and situations. It is huge. It's international. It's no more national only. It's actually international also. Okay, so I'm not opposed to seeing more efforts of the same kind or the same type taken up as the responsibility of a select group of persons. For we don't want to be limited to the sensitivities and visions of the grandchildren of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So let them succeed and Allah be with them, and they will become successful, and let them achieve as much as they can achieve. But I really like the idea of a historical society also, So I'm with Sister Hassan, Camila Hassan, and supporting your interests with all my soul, my sister.
I would just like to say, to see Elijah Muhammad and John Hassan's name and all of the workers at that time together, it's so valuable, and I appreciate the fact that you feel that it's
Yeah.
something that we need, and I will certainly proceed.
You know, I had a lot of parents in the Temple of Islam, set up by Mr. Farad and Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I had a lot of parents. There were believers who felt obligated because of the way I was presented to them by my father and mother, mainly by my father, as one that was named before I was born and said that he will help Mr. Farad and Honorable Elijah Muhammad, my father, do their work. So that touched the hearts of persons back there that was actually seeing Honorable Elijah Muhammad just about on a daily basis. And that was her husband, Brother John Hassan. He was seeing Honorable Elijah Muhammad just about on a daily basis and taking care of business for him, very personal business, paying bills, seeing that his insurance was bill was not paid, was paid so he wouldn't lose it, seeing that his license were on his cars and not do that, seeing that important concerns that people wanted to get to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, got to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, seeing that the nation itself was protected from any legal entanglements or legal problems. He did all that and took a personal interest in me. Whenever he saw me, you know what he would say? He would never call me Wallace. W.D. That's all he would say. W.D. But he knew how to penetrate and how to keep the importance of myself to the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad vibrating in my own soul without it even reaching my mind. W.D. That's what he would say. So he was my protector too. He helped protect me and groom me for the future. Yes, very, very important man. And I think Sharif is gone. I think if you can put those two together and put their names, yeah, it would be powerful. All right. That's a young lady there. Young voice, young lady. That make you want to keep living. I won't tell you her age, but she's older than I am. She did? Tell me. Huh? 85. I'm telling you. Yes, sirree. So is that it? A sister. A sister now. That was a brother. Where's the sister? We're not begging for anybody to come to the mic. Everybody want to go somewhere. And I think both of us want to go get something to eat.
Assalamu alaikum, brother, man.
Alaikum assalam.
And believers. As you were saying that, they brought it all out of us when they brought us that our heritage was Islamic.
Yes.
And I was raised by my grandmother, and she raised me similar, as I hear you often say, Sister Clara Muhammad raised you.
Mm-hmm.
She would look at me like I don't know what. But she would read the Bible all the time. And the night before she go to bed, I would see her pray. First thing in the morning, she would pray. She never would call me nicknames. She didn't like nicknames. She would call me by my name. And when I heard her call me in the neighborhood, I knew there was trouble. And she would say, Henry Lewis. And I knew that I had to get in the win immediately. She would never call me no nickname. She didn't like it. And she would tell me with the Bible, she said, this is the word of God. It's in there. But you have to look in here deep. You have to study this deep. You just can't take this like it is. And she was a lady that used to bring big bands and different things for the church and etc. And she would be teaching and preaching and a lady of God. And I believe that she and her spirit and everything was a Muslim. I believe that totally, because when I became in the Nation of Islam, right before she died, she came to New York City, real sick, and I had already became in the Nation of Islam. And I went down south first, and I was talking to her, and just like you be teaching us, I'm telling her that I'm the black man is God, and I don't eat pork, and I don't do all this, and she was looking at me, and just like that, and she ain't saying nothing. I'm around a group of brothers, and I tell them I don't eat pork. I don't eat pork. Pork ain't no good. And I'm eating bacon. I mean, I'm eating bacon, and they ain't saying nothing. So let me talk. So I'm eating the bacon, so one of the brothers said, that's pork right there. I said, no, that's bacon, brother. So I'm talking to her, and I'm talking with Islam and everything, the black man is God, and I'm changed and everything. And she wanted me to change, so I'm talking and preaching. She said, she held my hand. She said, can I say something? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I want you to know now, regardless of what you believe in, remember, I'm your friend. And I stopped talking to her. I started talking to my cousin. She said, regardless of what you believe in, remember, I'm your friend. I'm saying this to say that we can't let these people fool us that our parents are kafirs and disbelievers. We cannot let these people, many of our parents had an Islamic root in them.
Yeah.
They had the spirit of Muslim in Islam.
Yeah.
Now when she took sit and came to New York City, I'm in the Nation of Islam, and I picked her up to the bus station, took her home, and I waited on the elevator and I picked her up. She said, look how you taking care of me. Look how you taking care of me. And I took her into the apartment, laid in the bed, and she called me to the bed. She said, come here. She said, I want to tell you something. See, you have grown up to be the man I wanted you to be. And I'm very proud of you.
Wonderful.
And she
Wonderful.
went on up and rushed her. She took sick. And we rushed her to the hospital and she died. So now they're telling me that I had come. She never pushed religion on us. In the house. She never pushed religion. But she was telling me that I had reached what she wanted me to be. And I was in the Nation of Islam at that time. So I have to say what you say, that we have an Islamic heritage.
We do, no doubt.
And I didn't come into Islam because of black, white thing. Allah brought me into Islam. When I met you, first heard you on Greenwood, you had just got back. And what attracted me to you was not the knowledge, because I had nothing to judge you with. So I didn't judge you with no knowledge, I didn't have nothing to judge you with. But you said this. You said, I was happy to be with my father yesterday. You said, my brother is up in New York teaching. But I pray Allah that next year we all be by our father's side. And that touched me. It showed me that you were a man of compassion.
And we didn't hear that in the Nation of Islam where I came from. It was, dog eat dog, go kill it, etc. So I'm saying that I know that we have an Islamic heritage, and I pray Allah that we can do all, and I can do all to help you to continue in this path. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Thank you, Imam Idris. And I've known you for many years now, and you have always impressed me with your strength, your spirit, your strength, and your loyalty, and your determination to make something happen to improve things for all of us. And you have done a wonderful job in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. And but you have you're known by brothers in different areas, East Coast in different areas, and all of us know that you're a sincere worker. Yes, sir. Thank Allah for you. Yes, I would just like to say something that really I wanted to say while I was speaking, and it slipped from me as I was speaking, but twice it has come up that something has been said to bring it back to my mind again. And Brother Idris just mentioned something. He was asking us not to dismiss our parents, who were devout religious people, and not underestimate them, their mind and their beliefs and their faith. This was given to me while my father was in prison. My mother gave it to me, and she gave it to me in writing. And she said, your father, now mind you, in prison, we're talking about before 1945. So I couldn't have been no more than 13 or 14 years old at the most. And I think this was during the time, the earlier time of his incarceration. So I must have been like 11 or 12. And she gave me this read, this read, say, your father told me to give this to you. And what does it say? It's from the Quran. It says, Luqman advice to his son, and it goes on with Luqman's advice to his son. And it gets to this part that was the most serious part that she gave me, and it was bold, written big, so I look at that right away. Say, if your parents strive with you to get you to believe something that you have no knowledge to support. It means from the Quran, no knowledge to support from the Quran. Says, do not accept it, but keep good company with them in this world of life. And this topic, the subject is the idea of God. If they're striving with you to get you to accept a different idea about God, say, don't accept it, but keep good company with them in this world's life. That means as long as they live, you're supposed to keep friendship and good company with them. You're supposed to love your parents and give them the love of a son or daughter for a parent. Yes, that's the Quran. What a beautiful and merciful Lord to give us a book like that, you know? Yes. So you got Quranic support for what you're asking for. Strong Quranic support. Yes. Now, just think how Allah, the God of the heavens and the earth, not Mr. Farrar. He presented himself in his own right, in his own teachings, etc. But this book we just quoted, I just gave you the quotes from, that they gave to me. My mother gave to me from my father. He gave it through my mother to me. It's a universal book. The universal book of the one Lord, creator of the heavens and the earth. And my father is putting something in my mind, in my possession, in my mind, to condition me to reject what he taught me. He taught me, he's teaching me, but now he's giving me something, the power and the authority that would make me comfortable rejected what he gave me. You all should think on these things. It's a powerful thing that has been done in Black America for the ex-slaves to bring them back home. Yeah, and not just through me. Things been done through others too. And we need to recognize our common life and identity that respects the best of our humanity or the best of our human life and respects our past, especially our Islamic past. As I'm leaving you now, I'm getting ready to go so we all can be on our own and take care of what we have to take care of. Dr. Cyril Lincoln, who wrote the book, The Black Muslims, and his book made more Americans and more people in the world aware of us than anything that had happened up to that time. The Black Muslim. The same Christian theologian, very popular man during his lifetime, he wrote also The Black Church. And The Black Church too, powerful book that reached so many Americans and people outside of this country. He said that his experiences with us and study of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's Nation of Islam convinced him that we were not just being formed or motivated and formed the way we were formed by the teachings, but we were also having an Islamic gene bank memory, and that it was just something that was naturally coming out of us. So thank you, and don't forget these important things.
Brother Man, I just wanted to bring the attention. We had guests today. We just wanted to recognize some of the guests here today, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please do.
Okay,
You should have told me earlier, though. I like to keep our guests very comfortable.
Yeah, but we continue, so we didn't get a chance.
All right.
Okay, Abdul Qadir Muhammad, if you're in the audience, please stand.
Oh, I thought you meant non-Muslims.
No, but they're here from.
Right. Non-Muslims, if they ain't comfortable with what went on today, they are not Muslims. I mean the Muslims, pardon me. The Muslims, they're not comfortable with what went on today, they're not Muslims.
They're Muslims, but this is their first time.
I ain't worried about no Muslim, I was worried about the Christian. I wanted to make sure we were keeping the Christian comfortable. Yes, please. Where? From where?
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yes.
The guest will be Ma'am Hassan.
Yes.
Mateen.
All right.
And
wonderful.
Brother Ahmed M. Jafari.
Wonderful.
And Cove.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. We are happy that you are among us. Your presence makes us happier and stronger. Is that it now?
That's it, ma'am.
All right. All right. I don't have any of your delicious summer squash to eat today, but I guarantee you I'm going to be happy. So this concludes our meeting today here on the first Sunday, 11/4/2007. All right. Let me know when you're ready. You ready now? Yeah. I don't know if it's been announced or not, but Brother Rafa reminded me that we have the scarves that the sisters have really shown a lot of interest in, In fact, they're buying these scarves throughout the United States, throughout the nation. We have just ordered a large number of them. I think we have perhaps 200 more here today. And here, the sisters are bringing them right now to show you. And these scarves, whenever we have a gathering like this, whatever we're selling, if I'm involved in it, or if I can have some influence in it, the price is going to be greatly reduced. These scarves are selling today only, one day sale only, for $9.99. $9.99. The next time you see these scarves, if it's not on a day like this or like Savior's Day, we're going to get a big crowd in February, Savior's Day. The price is going to be double and more. Double and more. Yes. Price is going to be $19. And the day is about $10. So if you don't want them, sisters, don't wait too long. We're gonna eat. We want to eat. We know we can sell them, so don't waste too much time. And they gonna sell fast for $19. Ralph and I got on almost the same suit, very close to it. And I looked at his suit, I said, man, you got on a fine suit, you got on one of these suits. And he said, yeah, yours cold, man, yours cold.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what he say, cold and mean, Brother Ralph?
Yes, sir, cold and mean.
Cold and mean.